Hey guys, okay for today's discussion, let me just put in full screen. How do I do that? I just press the okay for today's discussion or for this week's discussion. This is gonna be just a short discussion since we're already aware that this week is gonna be your midterms exam. So as much as possible, you're gonna be focusing on your studies. I mean, studying the topics we have discussed. Okay. In this video, we are gonna be talking about the four M's of production. So at the end of this discussion, it is expected of you to be able to describe the four M's of operations in relation to business opportunity, to select or pinpoint potential suppliers of raw materials and other inputs necessary for the production of the product or service, and discuss the value supply chain in relation to the business enterprise and recruit qualified people for one's business enterprise. So these things are expected of you because these are our goals. Okay, so let's now start our discussion for this evening. So, when we talk about business, guys, any form of business, whether it is big or small or whatever it is, restaurant or not restaurant, whatever it is, whatever kind of business it is, we are always gonna talk about the four M's of operation because it's part of the business operation. Okay, so unsa man yung four M's of operation? It is written there manpower, method, machine, and materials. So these are the four M's of operation. So now you know what 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 do these things have to do with your business. The four M's of operation are the things that you will need in order to produce an output. What is an output? It's other word for product. So in order for you to produce something, to produce a product, to produce an output, you will have to talk about the four M's of operations because these are the necessary things, the most important things that you will have to take a look into in order to produce something of quality. Okay? Something of quality, something of long term, something of whatever the goal of your company is or your business is in producing. So that will be the basis, the manpower, the method, the machine, and the materials. Okay, now let's go to the first M, which is method. So what is method? We always talk about method. Yeah? It discusses the process or way of transforming raw materials to finished products. The resources undergo some stages before it is finalized and becomes set for delivery to target buyers. The selection of the method of production is dependent on the product to produce, mode of production, manufacturing equipment to use, and required skills to do the work. So when we talk of method, it's about the process. It's about the process that you will have to do in order to transform raw materials into finished products. These may include the things that you will need to do, the steps that you will need to do in order for you to produce your output or to produce your product, to make your product tangible or whatever your goal is. You need method, right? It is very important because without method, you have no goal. You won't be attaining anything. In order to do something, we always need to secure the method for our personals to follow, for you to follow. That's why it's very important. But the method is dependent on the product that you're gonna make. For example, your product is restaurant, or your business is all about restaurant. Okay, so the methods there are precisely all about the how you would cook the meal. Okay, the recipe, the ingredients, not the ingredients. We're gonna talk about it in the other M. The method is the recipe, the things you need to follow in order to produce that dish. Okay, the process, the method of cooking, maybe roasting, stir frying, saute. Stir frying and saute are the same. So boil, steaming, whatever kind of cooking method it is part of the method. It is the process, or it is the step by step, or it is something, a guide to, in order for you to produce the product. Okay, it's not tangible, it's just a method. Okay, let's go to the next M, manpower. Now, manpower is very important because without manpower, you won't be able to produce the product. You would say, sir, there are already machines that will produce my products. Yeah, there are already machines, but machines still need human beings to operate them. They cannot function on their own. But eventually, with the advancement of our technology, maybe that will happen soon or someday. We never know in the future. I hope that we're still alive at that by that time, but we never know. But for now, we have to talk about manpower because it is needed. It means the labor force involved in the manufacturing of products. Okay, they are the ones who will make the products, or in case of machines are in use, they are the ones who are gonna be operating the machines in order to make your product tangible, or to make your product a success. But so when we talk about manpower, it talks about the educational qualifications, the credentials, the status of employment or expertise, which is also dependent to the kind of business that you have. For um, for a business who let's talk about restaurant again. For a restaurant business, the things that you will need, the manpower that you will need, the credentials or the qualifications that you will need is to have extreme customer service, because that's part of the job description, that you will need to be very good in catering to guests. You should have that extreme, or cost extreme or excellent customer service, because that is needed in the kind of job that you have. But if your business about is all about what else, accounting firms, then the qualification changes. Accounting firms may need to hire accountants, auditors. Accountant is certain because accounting firm, that means you will need an accountant, an auditor. So those are the needs. So when we talk of manpower, it's dependent on the type of business that you have. Okay, now let's go to machines. Now, machines are the ones that we use in order to make things in in a faster way, in an easier way. So those are what we use, machines. Wow. What machines do we use in restaurants? We have ovens, we have stoves. Those are machines. Wow. So those are what we need, types of products to be produced. But it is also dependent on the type of business that you have. If you are in a bakery business, then the machines that you need to have are ovens, the mixer, the rolling pins, the machine rolling pins. Okay, so those are the things that you will need. And also it will also depend on the cost of equipment, capacity of the equipment, availability of the spare products in the local market, in case that your machine in case that your machine comes into broken or be broken, then you will have spare parts in the local market that is not that hard to find. So those are the things that we need to consider when we talk about machines. But machines are the things that we use, the ultimate purpose, the ultimate goals of machines are to make our job easier, consistent, and faster, and with in uh much more product in a time frame, or meaning mas daghan kang ma-produce in just a small amount of time given, compared to just doing them manually by manpower, or manually through the use through person hands. It will be time consuming. Compared to the machine, it will be faster, it will be easier for the laborers to do, and it will be consistent compared to the ones that are made by hands, di ba? So machines are more precise, are more consistent compared to hands of man, because they are programmed to do the same thing all over and over again. Okay? So those are machines. Now let's go to the fourth, which is the last, the materials. Now when we talk about quality products, long-term products, or long-term products, quality products, in case of food, delicious product, excellent products. When we talk about those things, it will always go back to the materials used. When we price things, we always go back to the materials that are used, the raw materials that are used. But when we speak of quality, then it is already uh, predetermined that the materials that are going to be used are also expensive materials. Because when we speak of quality, you have to buy expensive materials. Okay? So those are materials, the raw products, the things that you will need in order for you to make the product. For example, if you are in a restaurant business, these are the ingredients that you are gonna need in order to produce the dish that you are presenting in your restaurant. Okay, these are the materials that you're gonna use. So it's different from the machines. Machines are the ones that's gonna process the materials into producing it into the finished product. Okay, so those are the four M's of operation, guys. That was a short discussion because those are the things that need to be discussed. Okay. Please focus on your midterms and also your business plan, because paspas kayo mga adlaw. So we're almost to the finals week. So let's keep fighting, guys. Let's keep fighting, guys. All right, that's it. Thank you, guys, and God bless you soon.